and make sure they get to the right places.
Yes, we will. Any questions on this issue? It's been moved by Councillor Height, seconded by Councillor Geisens, at the request from David Mayberry, Chair, the Acting Chair, WOWC, be endorsed, and that the Mayor be directed to write to the Premier, the Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, and the Minister of Infrastructure confirming Norfolk County support for the SWIFT model for broadband for our rural and remote areas as an essential part of our broader economic and community development strategy. Discussion? Those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. The motion I have before me is that, notwithstanding the procedural bylaw, Council proceed past the hour of 9 p.m. to conclude the business at hand. Wells? Somebody? Sonnenberg? Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. I think that's the first, Councillor Wells, that you've ever been the mover of. Okay, approval of minutes. We have under item 9, first of all, the Council September the 11th, 2018 opened and closed minutes. The minutes of the close obviously were distributed. And also I'm going to ask if the Special Council of September 18th, 2018 open and closed minutes, if there's anything should be brought to our attention. If not, we'll declare those adopted as they have been printed and distributed to us. Let's go to reports of committees, please. So on page 89, we have the Norfolk Environmental Advisory Committee minutes, meeting minutes from July the 9th, 2018. Moved by Oliver, seconded by Brunton, that the minutes of the Norfolk Environmental Advisory Committee meeting of July the 9th, 2018 be received as information. Councillor Brunton, please.
Very quickly, through you, Mayor Luke, to Pam, I see on the bottom of page 89 where they've requested to provide additional comments. And can you, any little clarification on that, what they're getting at? Is there something specific they're looking for, or just a general idea that they want to comment more?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Brunton, that specifically was in relation to the Meisner Dam, and that NEAC didn't have an opportunity to comment on the proceedings that were happening through the Public Works process. We actually, what you don't see reflected in these minutes is that Gary Houghton attended the last NEAC meeting to give them an update, but it really isn't a planning role or a NEAC role to comment on the Public Works process.
Okay, but in that, on the second page, page 90, it says Mr. Craig will draft an amendment to the terms of reference. So is that going to happen and come to council, or?
To Councillor Brunton, it's my understanding that after Gary Houghton provided information to NEAC about the Meisner Dam, they were satisfied with that, and they won't be moving forward with any kind of amendment, but that will be clarified in the next minutes that you will see.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? It's been moved by Oliver, seconded by Brunton, that the minutes of the Norfolk Environmental Advisory Committee meeting of July the 9th, 2018 be received as information. Discussion? Those in favor? Carried. And our last report of committees, it's been moved. I'm on page, 93. It's been moved by Councillor Height, seconded by Councillor Oliver, that the minutes of the Telecommunication Advisory Committee meeting of June the 4th, 2018 be approved as presented. Discussion on these minutes. Councillor Columbus, please.
Just a general question with respect to when a company puts up a cell tower and other companies buy into that and put their equipment on the same tower, do we as a county get additional rent from those other companies? Because I know at the LPRCA we actually had that issue, and we worked out an agreement whereby anybody else puts their equipment on that tower, there's extra income comes to the LPRCA.
I can't say what arrangements Norfolk County currently has, but in my most recent employment, I negotiated those arrangements on behalf of another county in Ontario. And certainly it just depends on what language we put in the contract. The last place I worked made them not mutually exclusive so that you could have Rogers, Bell, Cogeco, and so it goes on the same tower. So it really depends on our arrangement. I certainly, if we don't already, I certainly hope that in the future we shall ensure that multiple can go on the same property so as to maximize our revenue and, of course, competition.
So just to follow up, could we have somebody look into that on the towers that we have and what the arrangements are?
Absolutely. Mr. Sluchenkov heard all of that, and we'll be delegating it to Ms. Darlington.
Thank you.
Anything else? Moved by Height, seconded by Oliver. That the minutes? No, I read that. Yeah, I already read that. You've heard the motion and no discussion. Those in favor? Thank you. Carried. I did read that. Too many papers up here tonight. Okay, on to item 12. Staff reports. Anything to bring to us from committees you sit on? No, those are staff reports. I'm not there. I'm not to council yet. Staff reports. Okay, there we go. Bylaws. I'm going to do bylaws next. Councillor Oliver is seconded, but I do need a mover. Confirming bylaws. Councillor Height, thank you. It's been moved by Councillor Height and seconded by Councillor Oliver that bylaws 2018-94 to bylaw 2018-99 inclusive and bylaw 15 OP 2018 to bylaw 17 OP 2018 inclusively and bylaw 62-Z-20 2018 to 6Z 2018 inclusively. Sorry, what is it, 56? Sorry, there's a lot of changes on there, handwritten. Thank you. Sorry about that. And bylaws 62Z 2018 to 66Z 2018 inclusively, and bylaw 68-2-2018 be passed and signed by the mayor and clerk and affixed with our corporate seal. Discussion? Those in favor? It's carried. You've got more handwritten words on there than what was typed. Lots of revisions tonight, for sure. We have no motions on the agenda this evening. I got a feeling there's no notice of motions tonight. But you never know. You never know with these characters. Other business. I'm not sure he's still awake. It's been a long day, James. I'm kidding. Yeah, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Treasurer.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, I'm in the middle of
No,
hockey
you
trials.
were busy there. I'm sorry.
Nothing to add this evening, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Sluchenkov, you're okay. Ms. Dusling?
Just a quick update for our council. You may recall, as part of the urban renewal program, DCS was holding a Win the Space event. We had approximately 23 applications for that space, and tonight a winner was announced. They will be notified tomorrow, and a press release will come out. So we're happy to report that the space will be utilized shortly.
Great. And Pam, we appreciate all the work that all staff does. But tonight, again, your planning department, some big issues there and did some tremendous reporting and answered the questions very well. There were some difficult questions there. Mr. CAO, Mr. Cribbs? No, Mr. Clerk, Mr. Guzal?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, just since this is the last regularly scheduled meeting of this term, we have to do something with the action item list. It's up for council to decide. I'm sure staff would love it if you decided to forward nothing to the next term, because it'd give us all time to work on our own hobbies and ideas and stuff we'd like to do. But you might want to do it. There's 14 items on there, so if you want to send the whole list,
Page
it's 1 to 14.
507. Sorry, I didn't mean to interject. Page 507, if you want to look at them for a moment. Sorry, Andy, I didn't mean to interject. So if there's anything on there you want to send off to the new council 2018-2022 term of council, you could just do that, and I would put it in the motion. Otherwise, go ahead.
Otherwise, if you don't refer any items in there for the next term of council, all the staff action on it ends after tonight. So you have to physically decide that you want staff to continue to work on this.
I'm on page 507. Do you want to have a look at these, Councillor Black?
You're saying, Andy, they'll die?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
The next term of council has to consider whether or not they'll adopt them, and but if you don't send them to them for adoption, then they won't consider that.
well, I think they should be sent, so I would make that a motion.
And Mr. Seconder, Height, and Mr. Clerk, certainly the first item is completed. I mean, we can send the whole list. It says completed, or fine. Okay, refer items, well, do I need one? It's completed.
If you want to remove one, we
Now,
are working
will
on the
council
strategic
refer
plan.
items one? I'm not going to, the whole report. 1 to 14, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so at the first meeting of the new term after the inaugural, the incoming term of council will see the list and they'll motion to consider adoption of it, or they might decide to remove items, or subsequently they could also
Yeah.
decide to add items.
Yeah, well, that's, moved by Black, seconded by Height, that council refer items 1 to 14 of the action list, item list to the 2018-22 term of council for consideration of adoption. Those in favor? There's really nothing to discuss there if we're going to let them deal with it. Okay, Mr. Cridlin, anything to share on other business?
This evening, thank you,
Ms.
sir.
Miranda?
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baird.
Just very briefly, today's rain has delayed the shave and pave projects by a day or two. Norfolk Street North, Donnelly Drive, Lyndale, and Church Street, Delhi are all teed up, so that work will happen very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Black. Councillor Brunton.
Well, minor things here. One is I've had a lot of questions about polling booths, and certainly not being critical. Andy, I know he's worked very hard on this whole election, but had a gentleman tell me just an example of this. He lives on the north side of Highway 3, just east of Ireland Road. His polling station, he's 80 years old, he has to go to the Waterford Legion. That's quite a, I find it odd, but anyways, I don't know if any other members have heard that. But again, Andy, I don't fault you. I mean, I'm sure you're doing a great job, so. Anyways, my other issue here is the insurance, and I know the RFPs are going out in the new year, the new council will deal with that, but I've had a lot of feedback on insurance rates for ice time for different hockey groups, and I gave a handout that I received from your insurance lady, name, whatever, forget her name, but she gave me a bunch of handouts which I provided to some different team members, if I may, and I hope that whoever ends up with our insurance takes a good look at that, because there's a lot of frustration out there by people that are paying those fees. So I'll leave it at that. And if I may, Your Worship, just one last thing.
Yes.
I have enjoyed my tenure with council for 4 years. It went awful quick. I've enjoyed my company all around this table with the staff. At times, I realize we may not have agreed, but we agreed to disagree. And whether we're back or not, I just want to wish all of you the best, okay?
Well,
That's it.
if I hadn't disagreed with you, there would be two of us wrong, so, you know. Councillor Geisens. Thank you. Councillor Columbus.
Just to say to the three retiring counselors that I've enjoyed serving with you guys over the years. It's been a long time, spending Tuesday nights. And wish you all the best in your retirement. And to those seeking re-election, good luck. All the best.
Well, thank you. Councillor Wells? Pardon? Okay, well, I'm going next. I have a couple little items here. First of all, I was at the Donnybrook Fair in Walsh on Saturday morning. The fair was very, very busy, but I did have the pleasure of being the judge for the entrance in the parade. It's really, really a lot of fun when you have first, second, third, and you have best dressed girl, and there's a award to hand out with money and ribbons, and there's 4 lovely young girls dressed to the T. It's a really, thank you for this job. Anyhow, it was great. No? And also the Houghton Fair is this Thursday, I believe around 11:30ish. So, and looking forward to that one. And of course, Langton was just a gorgeous day last Wednesday, and I was there with Councillor Wells and Councillor Geisens, and even Councillor Geisen and his lovely wife Anita took me out and bought me lunch. It was just great. Thank you very much for that. Great news as you've got on the Scots industry and the you've got that information. Pam, you wanted to explain that or not with the Scots decision on Scots fertilizer or lawn products up in Delhi?
Yeah,
Just briefly.
I can quickly, they received site plan approval this week, so they're moving forward with their building permit, which is really good news, keeping a business growing in Norfolk County. It was a kind of a complicated, you may remember, council, they asked for the lands to be out of the industrial lands, which had some impacts through our official plan. So it could have gone the other way, but we're very, I think, flexible and unique looking at our policies, and it's a success.
So 10 acres now will be developed, and the transport trucks will now no longer have to line up on 59 at 5 in the morning. Councillor Columbus, you did a lot of work on this with Scots, and they were terrific people to work with, weren't they? And I was involved a couple times, but not near the work that you did. So that's just terrific news that we're going to see more stuff there. And the last thing that I had was, I was in Port Rowan Saturday to assist in celebrating with the Long Point Lions Club 80th anniversary. And there are more coming up, I believe, Port Dover and Waterford this fall. 80th anniversary, full house, and after bringing greetings on behalf of council and congratulating them, they handed me their final installment of the Bayview park that they were in partnership with us for $10,000. So that was a great day in Port Rowan, believe me. And now I'll turn it over to our final retirees here for the last comments. First of all, Councillor Height.
Thank you, Mayor Luke. I only have one thing tonight. It's made up of 37 parts, so sit back and relax. I am kidding. I'm done, Mr. Mayor, so I don't have any other business. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. Good luck in the election, and good luck in your retirements.
I need somebody to put signs in for me.
Harold.
Thank you. Councillor Oliver.
Very much, Mr. Mayor. I don't have much to add. Same with my colleague. Thank everyone for 12 really, really interesting years. And best of luck to those of you that are running. And a big thank you to our senior staff team and all the rest of the staff.
Thank you very much. And last but certainly not least, Councillor Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just reiterate what I said before. It's been a real great 18 years. I've done a lot of different things in my life, and this past 18 years has probably been the most interesting. And I'm not falling off the face of the planet. I'm going to visit you guys once in a while to make sure you're doing things right. And I just want to warn you, I write a mean letter to the editor. So any fault I see with you people, I'm going to bring it to your attention, okay? And I think that's about it. I will be here on election night. I'm going to bring my footstool and sit back and relax and watch you guys squirm as the tally comes in. So anyway, thank you again. It's been great.
Thank you. Confirming bylaw, and again, before I read it, thank you so much, staff, council, for this very long evening to clear up the business of this council. Moved by Councillor Geisen, seconded by Councillor Oliver, that bylaw 2018-96, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of Norfolk County at this council meeting held on the 12th day of September 25th, 2018, be passed, signed by the mayor clerk, and fixed with the corporate seal. All those in favor? That is carried, and good evening, everyone. Thank you.
No.